Hi friends. Is COVID-19 a nature's way of balancing act, so should we listen to the nature immediately? We human beings have crushed the oxygen generation or retention of this planet. And in parallel, has our nature punished us by attacking our oxygen retention in view of respiratory attacks in corona epidemics? No doubt, our nature is watching us. So this is a letter to all world leaders such as all the world leaders including prime ministers or presidents or kings or chiefs of each country. All the industrialist, corporate houses and businesses, contributing to the hazardous gas creation. And also to every human being on this planet impacting a carbon footprint. Summary of my letter. What is the meaning of nature? Can it think? Does it have a persona? Does nature have a brain or a thought process? Does nature have ears, eyes to keep a track of the mankind? Can nature punish us? Is COVID-19 epidemics a high-handedness of nature? Is it giving us a message? Is nature telling us to act quickly? And what is that every world leader or corporate top-notch can do? As the message from nature is crystal clear, all the world leaders and industry leaders need to come together and act in parallel. If we do not act now, the second wave shall be most dangerous. Let them get out of national mode and start thinking global in this resolution. Sweden's teenage crusader Greta Thunberg warned us enough now, and also, Andersen, executive director of the UN Environment Programme, has warned all this planet and said that nature is sending us a message. This letter has scripted some urgent solutions, which may be ignored due to a huge catastrophe which mankind is facing. However, it's my duty to make you aware of the most ignored fact. This entire planet is struggling against COVID outbreak. Yes, it's dangerous, risky, spreading everywhere across the planet and touching the entire human race. Let's think of two specific dimensions touching humanity and nature. The first one is about green gas shield reducing and pressure of oxygen. For example, our planet has crossed all the boundaries of retaining the natural green gas enrichment, and in effect, our planet is struggling to generate or retain enough oxygen. In effect, we have attacked the immunity system of the nature planet Earth. In parallel to this, the second but opposite and important dimension is COVID-19 pandemic, virus attacking the oxygen creation, retention, generation, and in effect impacting our immunity. For example, research from the outbreak of COVID-19, it's clear that coronavirus reduces the human body's ability to take on oxygen and get rid of carbon dioxide. So, is it a balancing act of oxygen retention of our planet versus the oxygen retention of human being? In fact, the latest study by Harvard in March 2020, research links air pollution to higher coronavirus death rates. Coronavirus patients in areas that had high levels of air pollution before the pandemic are more likely to die from the infection than patients in cleaner parts of the country, as per study of 3,000 counties done by Harvard within USA. Is it a counteraction by nature? Over a period of few centuries of industrial revolutions, we human beings have attacked the planet's oxygen creation, generation, or retention, and the nature has counterbalanced with its attack on human beings' capability of creation, generation, or retention of oxygen. Is this like the nature's way of balancing described by Malthus theory, which predicted the population explosion, versus nature's way to balance by percentage extinction? Is nature's largest attack on same regions which have been largest contributors to the toxic gases? Has nature attacked largest contributors to the global warming phenomenon? At this time, we do not have specific research to convince us that, if we analyze by geography, the type of impact of COVID-19 would be equivalent within the geographies or regions, which exactly contribute to green gas impact in same proportion. Therefore, we would avoid saying that countries who impact the global warming most, are those who got impacted by coronavirus, the most. Though some people may like to prove that equivalence in case of couple of leading countries. So, what is the solution and future plan of action? Let's continue the present COVID-19 fight on a war footing. The whole world is fighting against the corona pandemic. Scientists, researchers, and doctors are finding out either a cure, which means an immediate cure against possibilities of death, or a prevention, which means a permanent vaccine to prevent the disease from infecting or spreading. B. Immediate parallel resolution needed. Let all the world leaders come together and immediately create a plan of action for reducing the green gas emission and reducing the global temperature by 2% before the end of this century. But there is a possibility of hindrance to such initiatives. I may request that, please do not worry for the cost of resolution, otherwise the cost of future calamities will throw us apart very miserably. Previously, Paris Accord was already made in 2016 and there are 189 countries as its signatories. I would request all those countries to continue and accelerate that plan of action. In November 2020, United Nations had planned the meeting of all the world leaders at Glasgow, United Kingdom. This meeting has been already cancelled by United Nations, due to epidemics fallout. I request all the countries, not to cancel that meeting. In fact, I would request all these leaders to reinitiate that dialogue of world leaders and industrial leaders now, maybe on video conferencing, if not with physical presence. In fact, I would suggest to start that dialogue much earlier than November 2020, and one can start in immediate next 3 to 4 months by July or August 2020, in case we get some relief from corona epidemics. It's okay to renegotiate, but do not stay away or postpone the collaboration of this human race. Moreover, I may request all the countries to think more creatively and proactively suggest their plan much beyond what has been planned as per Paris Accord. I may request all of you to give an assurance to the nature, that mankind will creatively plan to the green gas or global warming resolution, as early possible and will adhere to the given time frame. Request not to ditch nature or this planet Earth, on any of those assurances. What may happen if you don't listen to Mother Nature? We may find corona solution very soon. Assuming we find a vaccine or an cure soon, we shall lead a happy life and shall forget about the environment issues anymore. Each country will continue its own path, without worrying about the global warming impact. However, with this renewed negligence, our nature will return with more severe punishment in various forms such as droughts, famine, and earthquake. SARS outbreak of 2003, Ebola outbreak of 2014 and COVID-19 outbreak of 2019, are continued example of such warnings by nature. And moreover, we may experience huge disease outbreak much dangerous than corona, and next time it would be very severe than before and one, where mankind may find difficult to fight. Cost of implementing environment plan may be hugely excessive, but there is no other alternative. The cost of containing the next stage of outbreak shall be extremely humongous. We might go back to our mankind progress by decades, if not centuries. Each country needs to create self-regulatory mechanism to achieve yearly, monthly, daily targets. In fact, Bill Gates already warned us in 2015, that we are not ready for the next epidemics and monetary losses predicted by IMF, even as early as in 2015, were supposed to be much higher than the preparedness. I request, not to cancel the meeting planned in November 2020, though you may like to cancel the venue. Video conferencing can be extensively used for all the interactions. In fact, I will suggest all of you to start profound dialogue much earlier in the months, starting July 2020, in case we get some relief from corona epidemics. It's okay to renegotiate, but do not stay away or postpone the collaboration of this human race. Let us stop blaming one country over another. We are a part of one big family called planet Earth. Plan globally and act locally. Create your own self-implementation teams, and each country chief should create a huge supervision to ensure the smooth implementations. If you don't do this plan of action, not sure if nature will pardon you, and soon, we may find ourselves in a state of disarray. This is a letter from a worried human being and friend of the entire planet. Here is Shripad Vaidya saying goodbye to all my listeners.